There's something pretty unprecedented that's happening in the world right now. Massive amounts of people are migrating from country to country, people in the hopes of finding a better life to escape the political and social problems that their home country faces right now. I wanted to examine, just for a second, the regions most affected by this migration. Where are all these people going, and what specific dangers do they face along the way? Let's start with Mexico and the United States. Mexican immigration is nothing new in the US, but is still a very important issue today. Over 11 million people are undocumented in the nation, and that number has been holding steady for the past 5 years. Only 6 states account for 60% of the population of unauthorized immigrants, but the public's opinion on immigration is the interesting thing. A survey done by the Pew Research Center concluded that 72% of people agreed that unauthorized immigrants should have a way to stay in the US if they meet certain requirements. However, when you put into a political party perspective, then the issue seems divided. When asked what the government should do in order to stop illegal immigration, then the people's opinions are split 3 ways. With all this debate over immigration, the number of deportations has gone up in the past 10 years, with the majority of people with non-criminal backgrounds. Nonetheless, in 2014, the Department of Homeland Security reported a decline in deportations, sending over 414,000 people back home. Ukraine is in the middle of an internal conflict right now between pro-Russian rebel forces and the Ukrainian army. That fighting alone has been devastating to the people of eastern Ukraine and has displaced thousands from their homes already. The country is in such a divide right now that the people are having to choose between going west and staying in their country or going east into Russia in the hopes of finding something better. Right now, over 660,000 Ukrainians have applied for asylum in Russia just this month and are ready to join the 2 million Ukrainians currently in Russia. In the Middle East, specifically Syria, millions of people have fled the country and are migrating north to the European Union. These people are traveling through a systematic channel of countries just to get to Europe in the hopes of finding a new home. However, in the recent months, xenophobia has been a current problem in these European nations, citing fears of possible security threats. Over 4 million Syrian refugees make the largest population of migrants in the world, and that number is growing day by day as the war between Syrian pro-government forces, the Islamic State, and anti-government forces rages on. In Africa, specifically South Sudan and Eritrea, over 1 million people have migrated to several neighboring countries like Ethiopia or Uganda. Now, the cause of these migrations is interesting. In South Sudan, they're in the middle of an internal civil war between South Sudanese government forces and opposition rebels. Eritrean refugees are nothing new in the world. For several years, thousands of people from the poor African nation have suffered through several human rights violations from the government, such as torture, arrest, and unlawful executions. The international response to the Syrian refugee crisis, and around the world, has not been handled well. Billions of dollars of aid have been given to helping these refugees in temporary homes, but does not give them a permanent solution to their problems. Most of these people left their homes mainly because they didn't have a choice, and are wanting to come to the US and Europe because they see the prosperity that these countries produce. Instead of being selfish and not letting these people live, let's give them a warm welcome and tell them it's going to be alright. If you like what you saw, then feel free to leave me a comment, or just hit that like button if you're too shy. Consider subscribing, and more videos like this and not like this are on the way. Thanks.